Death, Jamie.
Yes, it's time to talk about
Death. So you've got an LTD Black Metal EX.
Absolutely. It's just got a bridge pickup and a volume, which is all you need.
Yeah, pretty much.
No round, warm pickups from the neck or tone controls to smooth things off. Just jagged, like the guitar itself.
Yeah, and I'm playing an LTD Arrow, which has worked really well because it's pointy.
More pointy,
yeah,
more angry.
More angry, yeah, pointy sound. So we're tuned to D standard, so everything is down a tone.
Easy.
What did you think when I passed this over to you, knowing what you know about Chuck's music?
It's kind of death metal with just drenched in angst and tension.
Yeah.
Not much resolution.
There's thrash elements in it, isn't there?
For sure, yeah.
But they did change over time.
Yeah.
So it was summing that up in one track was quite difficult.
Yeah, and there's a real great interplay between the two guitars. Really conscious but effective use of harmony.
The approach, I guess, look at the intro, because we were debating how to explain this, weren't we, this little part. I mean, it's very much, there's lots of the Middle Eastern sound, the Persian sort of Phrygian dominant sound in Death, in Chuck's music. And I started out with this little riff that went... And you sort of followed that, but we played it in fifths, didn't we?
Yeah. I started with this figure, and I kind of think of it, this is the bass phrase. So with my harmony, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's the kind of the foundation of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
That's
playing
the count.
5, 7, 8, 6 on the next string to get that kind of harmonic minor sound. And that phrase then loops around on itself but gets stretched and expanded to get these little variations that we explore. Yeah. So I start with that phrase twice, and then I venture up to the 7th, then the 9th fret, and back down again, and then loop around on itself. And this time I venture a little further, play 5 and 7 on the next string, then back down again, and then we go down on it again. This time, add the 9th fret to the 3rd string, repeat those notes on the 4th string, and then we're into the next part.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And I played the same thing of 5th up. So, you know, that's kind of where I started with it, and then we added that harmony. So should we play it together? I would say this is the A harmonic minor part, but we're only A as far as the name of the string.
What it looks like.
Yeah, it's a G. It's a G chord really with the tuning, but seventh fret, 6, 7, 6. First fret on the low string. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, and that cycles round that lick.
And that chromatic movement in there, it creates loads of drama and tension in it, but it's really about passing to glue a line down to that open chord again. So if you're writing your own chord progressions and you want to get extra tension in there, explore those frets in between. Prolong as long as you can. Wherever you're going to go to, all those chromatic explorations along the way, if you shape that right, you're going to get some killer variations and variety within your phrases, so explore that.
Awesome, yeah, I mean that's very much, I mean I've got my Death Human t-shirt on, which is an amazing album, but I think if I had a Desert Island album by Death, it'd be Spiritual Healing, and I think that the production on that album is amazing, and that chromaticism, I mean it comes out on all the records.
So we get to this opening what looks like that open A chord again, but it's actually a G. We get that kind of grooving phrase on it. And then we're going to double pick this phrase, so it's going to really lean into that chromaticism. The notes are first fret on the 5th string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, down to the 2nd fret, 3rd fret on the 5th string, 1st fret on the 4th string, down to the 2nd fret on the 5th string. So when you double pick that, you get some really cool tension and shape to it.
Yeah, like could be off Leprosy that, couldn't it? But it's very Hall of the Mountain King, you know, that classical piece.
This is all chromaticism.
All chromaticism.
It's a theme and move in it, which is exactly what we're seeing here.
Cool. So the next riff is very similar. It's kind of turned around on its head, really, isn't it? It's 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret. And that's between these 3rd and 4th strings, as per the previous example. And then 1st fret on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And then we move to the low string, and we get this really deep idea, and that's the turnaround.
Yeah, absolutely. It launches it back round again, doesn't it?
Now there's a nice little bit with ninths.
So the second time around, first ending. Play all the riff round again, but this time intervals sound awesome. So and when you stack fifths, so we know the power chords are stacked fifth, sounds great, but when you do a power chord here and a power chord here, glue them together, you get like this add 9.
You're playing that higher,
I'm taking that idea, but so I'm playing the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 5th fret of the 3rd string, goes on a typical power chord shape. Because of the tuning, I have to go extra stretchy on the B string and play the 8th fret there. So, but I'm separating the notes out rather than playing at the same time. So, and then I move it up 3 frets. With a bit of palm muting, picking wise are going down, down, up, because that allows me to get back to the next sequence. So down, down, up, down, down, up.
I'm playing in an octave lower here. Yeah, should we play that whole thing round? It's great because it's a combination of what you'd probably find on those early albums with the tremolo picking, and then on the later records from Human onwards with individual thought patterns, and Symbolic with the stacked ninths, which became very much part of his sound. So we've got to unleash the fury, and particularly with things like tempo changes, complete shifts in tempo. And I picked up on this through playing off the low E string on, essentially, it's a blues scale. 3rd fret to 2nd fret to the open, and then...
So the only difference there, that note you're playing on the 2nd fret is an additional 2nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
You omit that,
That's right.
It's the bottom section of the blues
of
scale.
a blues scale, yeah, which would be. But I'm playing. And then first fret, dark sounding.
Yeah, yeah.
Minor second to second, back to minor second.
Picking those chords.
And then
palm muting, getting those 16ths down. Yeah.
And you're mirroring it?
Same deal, I'm going up an octave, so I'm playing 7th, 9th and 10th fret on the 5th string, and then 7, 8, 9 on the 4th string. Again, if I take that out, you get a blues scale sound. So same deal, same phrases as Pat. Power chord at the end. That power chord movement there, yeah.
Yeah, let's play that together.
Later on, we'll repeat that section. There's a little variation, isn't
there?
There is
a little ending.
Diminished rundown. So my notes for that, I go from the 10th fret. This is all minor thirds, by the way. So 10th fret on the 3rd string to 7th fret. That's a minor third. Then I hop over to the 9th fret of the 4th string, which is down another minor third, and then drop down 3 more frets on that 4th string to the 6th fret. So there are the notes. And I play 4 palm muted notes, and then a 5th note that's unmuted to get a little phrase, and that's repeated on every note in that diminished sequence. So,
and that also takes us into another tempo change.
Yeah, sure.
So it takes us back. It's kind of like it's the breaks.
It's easing off against somewhere else, right?
So, and I'm playing the same thing, but it's just a minor third down. So I'm playing. Let's play that together again.
Absolutely. It's the golden rule. If you're going to do diminished phrases, it's moving in intervals of a third. And if you want to harmonise diminished phrases, harmonising from a minor third away again as well, it all glues together and fits really nicely.
So after that, there's a modulation, isn't there? And we're moving up to the 3rd fret. This to me is early death. This is Leprosy era, right? So it's tricky in that it's tremolo picked and it's moving between the low strings. So
some things to keep in mind with that, because of the speed, the stamina, you don't want to tie yourself in a knot, you don't want to fatigue yourself either. So it's about getting that 45-degree angle on the pick instead of playing flat to the string, because you get loads of resistance. If your string is here and your pick is flat to it, you basically smack in the string with the face of the pick every time, which gives you maximum resistance, and that's not what we want. So we tilt the knuckle of the thumb upwards to get an angle, so then we can kind of slice the string and get speed. We get way less resistance. So you can get the speed there, so we're going to ease off, but with that angle and some palm muting, it can sound like we're still playing really aggressively and hard. We can get the speed, but by easing off with the pick attack a little bit, when we play the notes on the 5th string and they're unmuted, you get that difference in sound. So it's unmuted and we've got a little bit of headroom to still accent those notes. Because if we're going full pelt with the 16ths and fatigued, we can't really make any other notes any louder because we've given it everything we've got. So ease back with the pick attack, use that 45-degree angle and relax to get that speed. And you can really pronounce those notes on the 5th string.
So guitar solo, they've had loads of guitar players over the years. I went for what Chuck did because he was still a lead player in the band.
Sure.
And he was great, he was a songwriter and he wrote solos like the songs, which is really important. So over this riff, I basically reproduced the sound of the riff up higher.
So you get that vocal quality to it.
So all the way through that, I'm reproducing that riff,
And
getting
shifting
gradually higher and higher and
Yeah.
higher. At which point I play this kind of cool sort of E harmonic minor idea, but rather than going, which would be perfectly acceptable in
Fine,
Death, that would be a great idea. In fact, it's more of a riff, he'd sort of progressive part that he would put in. I decided to play in sixths. We've got major second, minor third, fourth, fifth.
So that's 6.
That's 6,
so
minor 6.
Root straight to that 6.
Yeah, root straight to the 6, yeah. So this is moving in sixths.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then second to the 7th, major 7th in this case, third to the root, and then same pattern, 4th, and then, and then you get, which is super spooky. That's like going up the stairs of the candelabra.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's lots of fun to play, and then I finish off with this kind of, which follows the drums, because it's a super rhythmical band.
Ends on that root.
Ends on that root, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was my thought process, and let's make it kind of chuck. Let's make it a bit shreddy, but also melodic and following the song.
And what I love about that intervallic run you've just done there, when we learn scales, we can so easily fall into that trap of playing stepwise when we do fast runs. But it's cool, it's got energy, but it doesn't necessarily make one player stand out from another because we're kind of following the same steps.
Yeah.
So by taking these intervallic approaches, it's got more identity, more uniqueness to it. Not so many guitar players think to do that. And it takes work and practice to get those sequences under your fingers. So spend some time, try different intervals, shift by jumping a 4th apart each time and work your way up the scale, or a 5th, whatever it might be. Those types of ideas will just change the way that you travel across the fretboard, and you'll hear new ideas coming off the bat, like you said straight away.
Yeah.
You could start to hear riff ideas or whatever it might be, just because you're approaching something very differently, and you're getting your fingers to do, you're breaking habits, and when you break habits, you find new stuff.
And it's the same with tempos as well. Try ideas, try different bits and pieces of songs. What's great about the way Chuck wrote was, it was almost like he wrote 4 songs and then cut them up with a pair of scissors and then put them together and just made it work. They were almost completely random, but it was Death, and when they got together and rehearsed, it sounded amazing. So think about that process. I think personally there's room for another band with loads of tempo changes. They don't come along very often. There's a few. Sabbath were another one, a British thrash band. They had amazing tempo changes in their song, really random, but it worked.
You get metalcore bands, gent bands, all exploring numbers and polyrhythms, and that's cool. It's got a really specific sound to it, and prog bands do the same thing but in a different way. But the idea of taking death metal and thrash and infuse it together and get these things, and Opeth kind of do this stuff as well, but yeah, it's a cool sound. There's definitely mileage for more acts to explore those different nuances. So
it's innovation. That's the thing. That's what's going to take us to the next level. And there's 50 more years in this music yet.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
If
But
not,
that's your job.
If not more, that's your job.